We begin tonight with breaking news in Lee County. A fire breaking out in Bonita Springs right near East Terry Street and Bonita Grand Drive. Now, this is less than about a mile from I-75.
Yeah, we're joined now over the phone by Nicole Hornberger. She's with Bonita Springs Fire Rescue. Nicole, let's talk about the size of the fire. How many acres are burning, and give us the details on that.
Well, right now we're estimating that there's approximately 50 acres burning. Of course, once we get something into the air here, we can have a better estimation. But right now we're guesstimating that's right about 50 acres.
All right, and Nicole, about 50 acres, I know it's very close to I-75. What about any smoke concerns for drivers coming in and out of this area? Anything they need to know?
I haven't heard of any concerns for the smoke on I-75. The smoke right now is heading in about the westerly direction. So I think for now, the only driving conditions that are going to be obstructed is any roads that are west of this area here. And I don't believe that there are too many, certainly not many that have heavy traffic on them. But this smoke is very thick. I mean, I'm looking into this brush fire right now, and I'm seeing that our emergency vehicles are literally disappearing after they get into this heavy smoke. So it's something that they're really trying to get a handle on right now. We have a lot of units here, so hopefully this will be extinguished sooner rather than later.
All right, Nicole, thank you for your information. Once again, that was Nicole Hornberger with the Bonita Fire and Rescue. Of course, we'll have all the latest information for you on our website. You can check it out at any time. Go to fox4.com.
All right, Storm Patrol's Jim Sine joining us now from the Weather Center, keeping an eye on some windy conditions out there.
Yeah, it looks like rain could be on the way in the next 24 hours or so. Jim?
Yeah, we're very much looking forward to increasing rain chances starting tomorrow. Going to even bump those rain chances up a little bit more farther down the road. But let's look at the winds right now. They're at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Good news is, if there is any good news, it's going to be a consistent wind direction. Those winds will continue to be off the Gulf of Mexico, taking that smoke and moving it away from I-75 and Route 41, moving it really basically toward the interior of the state of Florida. So if you take I-75 or 41 on your route home and you go through South Lee County, you should not have any problems with smoke because the wind is actually blowing it in the other direction. Drought index, very high, over 700 now in DeSoto and Glades County, approaching 700 in Charlotte County. Now, we don't have any rain showing up yet on Storm Patrol Viper, at least over the land. But look what's going on to the north of us. Low pressure and a very weak front going to get a little bit closer to us. And starting tomorrow, we're talking about some much needed rain. We'll tell you when it gets the rainiest coming up.
Jim, thank you very much. Also in the news this evening, an overflow crowd packing a Bonita Springs City Council meeting.
That's right. Council members deciding the fate of future homeless shelters in the city. Four Corners' Julie Salamone has all sides to the argument and, of course, the irony surrounding the outcome here.
The St. Matthew's House runs a facility currently in Naples. It's no secret they've been wanting to expand in Bonita Springs. Today, City Council heard a lot of debate and ultimately decided the fate of a moratorium that attempts to stop shelters from opening in the city.
This is something that is not new, that is targeted at only one property and only one purpose and only one agency.
President of the St. Matthew's House, Van Ellison, urging council to vote no on a moratorium that would put a temporary stop on shelters from coming to Bonita, and by the city more time to come up with regulations surrounding homeless shelters.
I'm here to ask for a yes on the moratorium.
Ellison was met with strong opposition from many of the more than 200 people attending the meeting who urged council to approve the moratorium.
There are multiple problems that come with the shelters.
The children will be frightened. You will have crime rate go up.
I am deeply concerned about the location.
Ellison says talk about crime rates going up and property values going down just isn't true.
We know that the way we operate with a very tight and structured program is a benefit to the community, takes people off the streets, reduces crime rates in the area where we serve.
Council members ultimately sided with those who support the moratorium, but in the end it may not matter. The St. Matthew's House appears to hold the trump card by filing paperwork with the city earlier this week to build a new facility on this land off of Old 41 in Bonita.
The moratorium won't affect us at all. We're a pre-existing development order has been applied for now, so that any moratorium, any action they take today will not impact us.
And that moratorium most likely will not slow down the process for the St. Matthew's House to expand in Bonita Springs. That moratorium goes into effect in 30 days. Julie Salamone, Fox 4 in your corner.
And in the end, council voted 7-0 on a year-long moratorium. St. Matthew's House says that they will continue the process of expanding in Bonita.
Who should have control over one of Cape Coral's busiest boulevards? That's the question at the center of a power struggle between the city and the county. Foreigner Corner's John Rapolo shows you how the decision over Del Prado could affect your tax dollars and even your safety. John?
Yeah, Cape City officials are looking to take control of Del Prado Boulevard from the county. But there are many issues at play here, including the death of a young boy at this very intersection just 2 years ago. In April 2010, 13-year-old Ryan Santos was struck by a car and killed while crossing this stretch of Del Prado. The city wants a traffic signal here, but the county is refusing, saying it's not needed even though a nearby racetrack convenience store is willing to pay for it. The fight over that light has now become an all-out battle over control of Del Prado Boulevard.
The city of Cape Coral deserves to have its own say-so over its roads and its safety.
The county is shelling out $3 million a year to maintain Del Prado, and they also have say over where traffic signals are installed.
In an ideal world, if the city has responsibility for the roadway, they can make those decisions.
But some Cape councilors say the city just doesn't have the money to maintain Del Prado.
Unless finance can show me where the money's coming from, I think it would be foolish.
Public Works would handle the maintenance of Del Prado. Director Steve Neff says it would cost the city between $3 and $8 million per year.
The city has significant financial struggles in maintaining the roadways that we currently have. This would further stress the city to maintain this without additional funding.
The county receives the money to maintain Del Prado through property tax revenue and gas taxes. The city of Cape Coral would want compensation if they take over the boulevard. We asked the county's DOT director about that.
It's an issue that's handled by mutual agreement, and we can talk about the terms for doing that.
Yeah, much to discuss. Now, Cape City Council will vote on taking over Del Prado in May. Of course, ultimately, the final say will be with the Lee County Board of Commissioners. We're live in Cape Coral. John Rapolo, Fox 4, in your corner.
All right, thank you, Johnny. What do you think about this? Should the city take on the cost of maintaining the road? Let us know by going to fox4now.com. Click on the Viewer's Voice tab there at the top, or you can call us 239-206-FOX4.
Tonight we're learning when the Cape's new city manager will start his new gig. Officials say that John Zerlag is expected to start on May 29th. Now, he's already resigned from his job as a city manager in Troy, Michigan. He's replacing Gary King, who was fired back in December. Zerlag will be making $160,000 a year plus another $18,000 in allowances.
Fire tearing through a North Fort Myers house, the second home now to be destroyed by flames in just 2 days in Lee County. The latest fire breaking out at a home near Flamingo Drive and Pine Tree Lane. Authorities telling us that the home is vacant. No one was hurt there. Fire officials saying they were actually on the way back from lunch when they got the call.
We went to investigate and found a piling home, a home on pilings that was fully involved. All we know at this time, it was a rental. There was no power to the home. Nobody was renting the home. And right now it's just under investigation.
No word if the fire is suspicious just yet. The state fire marshal has been called to determine a cause.
All new at 6, the judge overseeing the George Zimmerman murder case is removing herself because of a possible conflict of interest. The judge announcing this afternoon she is recusing herself because of a potential conflict relating to her husband. He works with an attorney who was first approached by Zimmerman's family to represent him. Zimmerman is charged with second-degree murder for the February shooting of 17-year-old Trayvon Martin. He says he shot Martin in self-defense after Martin attacked him. We also have some sad news from the world of entertainment. Legendary TV personality Dick Clark passed away today. Clark, who is known for his hosting gig on the popular show American Bandstand, dying at the age of 82. Now, there are several reports that he died of a heart attack, although his publicist is not confirming that. Clark is also well known for hosting the annual New Year celebration from Times Square, as well as a variety of game shows and music specials on television, including the American Music Awards.
The White House is calling it reprehensible. New pictures just out of U.S. soldiers posing with dead bodies of Afghan soldiers. All new at 6, Gabrielle Saran explains why this is the latest black eye for our troops serving in Afghanistan.
Emily, a negative light is once again being shed on U.S. soldiers in Afghanistan after new photos released by the Los Angeles Times. We have one of those pictures. We warn you, it is disturbing. We've blurred out some of it, but you can see soldiers posing with a mangled body, reportedly the legs of a suicide bomber. The LA Times says they got 18 pictures from a soldier with the 82nd Airborne Division on condition of anonymity. The soldier is saying the photos, quote, point to a breakdown in leadership and discipline that he believed compromised the safety of the troops. The former top U.S. military official in Afghanistan says this new report is disturbing.
It doesn't represent the standards or the training or the values of the United States Armed Forces. Our soldiers and our leaders know you don't pose with dead enemy bodies. And there's a lot of other things that you don't do.
This feeds into months of negative news for the now decade-long NATO campaign in Afghanistan. In January, a video was uncovered showing U.S. Marines were urinating on Afghan corpses. There was also the mistaken burning of Qurans by military officials in February, and there was a massacre of 17 Afghans by an American soldier in Kandahar last month. The Pentagon says it's investigating this latest incident, and they're working to identify the soldiers pictured. Live in the studio, Gabrielle Saran, Fox 4, in your corner.
It's a controversial program that's supposed to protect the environment in Lee County. So why does one man say it's only making things worse?
Clean up on aisle 2. A car crashes into a Florida Publix. The incredible story of how shoppers saved one man's life.
And birthday suit protest. A man strips nude at a busy airport. Find out what was behind this bizarre scene. And of course, we're continuing to follow breaking news in Bonita Springs. Brush fire is growing as crews battle the flames. We'll have the latest on their progress when we come back.
We are updating you now on breaking news out of Lee County. A 50-acre brush fire burning in Bonita Springs right near East Terry Street and Bonita Grand Drive. This is less than a mile from I-75. We are told right now there have been some voluntary evacuations, but no homes are directly being threatened by this 50-acre fire. We have a crew heading to the scene right now. We'll keep you posted with the updates. In the meantime, you can always get the very latest on fox4now.com.
A man's protest of airport security leaves nothing to the imagination. Police say that John Brennan stripped naked during a security check at Portland International last night, and then he just refused to put his clothes back on. Witnesses say that Brennan was protesting the extra security measures he was being put through, apparently telling officers he felt the TSA agents were harassing him.
He was saying things like, you know, am I doing anything illegal, or do I have anything illegal? Am I good to go through now? You know, trying to make a point.
Police charged him with disorderly conduct and indecent exposure. They say that he was not under the influence of drugs or alcohol.
A science experiment leaving 5 college students hospitalized for a caffeine overdose. The students from an Iowa university ingested high levels of caffeine for a student-led experiment in a physiology class. School officials saying the students became nauseated and dizzy after drinking the liquid, and they were all taken to the hospital. The instructor is now on paid leave while the school investigates this incident.
A scary scene at a Jacksonville area public store. A car goes crashing through the lobby as several customers sit waiting. Yeah, the surveillance video shows the car plowing through the lobby, hitting a woman and a stroller carrying a baby. Here it comes, and there it goes. That car then continues into the main part of the store before finally stopping, leaving a man trapped under the car. People in the store coming to the man's aid to keep him from getting crushed.
There was probably about 10 or 12 guys that actually had the smarts to actually go over, and they lifted up the car. I mean, a crane couldn't have lifted up any quicker.
That baby that was hit only has minor injuries. Police say that the accident was not caused by a mechanical failure.
2 Air Force Academy cadets make a gruesome discovery in the Rocky Mountains.
Cameron got there first and he says, I think we're going to sleep on the snow tonight, man. The cabin's full of frozen cows.
That's right, dead cows frozen inside the abandoned cabin. The Forest Service says the cows are part of a herd that went missing last fall. They believe they may have wandered into the cabin looking for shelter. Now officials are trying to decide what to do with the carcasses.
There's 3 options. One is to do nothing and allow nature to take its course. The second option is to utilize fire, burn the cabin as well as the cows. And the last option is to utilize explosives.
The Forest Service is concerned about wildlife feeding on these carcasses. It says a decision on how to handle the situation will be made very soon.
No jobs for smokers. Yeah, one city could become the first major American city to only hire tobacco-free applicants. Fort Worth, Texas is considering a policy that would make all of its facilities smoke-free. Now, that policy would also ban smokers from being hired for city government positions. Officials say not only could the policy save millions in insurance costs, but it would also help the city's image. Well, we want to know, do you think someone should be ruled ineligible for a job just because they smoke? Let us know by going to our website, fox4now.com. If you want, you can also let us know what you think on our viewers voice tab there. You can call us as well, 239-206-FOX4.
Now, your Storm Patrol weather forecast with Jim Zion.
Storm Patrol members continue to get up early. Kathy Bowlesby sending this picture of the sunrise with just very limited clouds, a few high, thin, wispy clouds, and that's about it. Now, we fast forward. Sunrise, sunset. Actually, we're still over an hour from sunset, but we're starting to see the beginning of the sunset. And as we look out toward the Gulf of Mexico, from the Pink Shell Beach Resort and Spa, you do see a little more cloud cover. Those clouds are going to continue to be on the increase, and eventually they're going to bring us some rain. As a matter of fact, tomorrow we actually have a chance for a shower at 7 a.m. Now, it would mainly be well north of the Caloosahatchee. I think it would be mainly for Sarasota County, but I'll show you what I'm talking about here in just a little bit, is we're really changing the wind pattern and the weather pattern. Scattered showers in the forecast at noon, and a few more scattered showers at 5 o'clock, but by 5 o'clock, most of the showers that develop tomorrow are going to be inland, east of I-75. We're basically dry on Storm Patrol Viper. I say basically, because as you go out into the Gulf of Mexico, you can see a couple of showers popping up there. Let's expand the view. Low pressure, trailing front, getting a little bit closer to us, bringing that onshore flow. And this time of year, the onshore flow can sometimes mean a few showers in the morning. Granted, that's more of a pattern that we see during the summertime, but the Gulf of Mexico right now is still warm enough. So as the winds will be off the Gulf of Mexico tomorrow morning, a couple of showers may develop out in the Gulf and come onshore. Here's another look at the rain, and you can see a few of those showers. Well, they get real close to the land north of Tampa. Then they start to weaken, but these showers holding together a little bit better the farther north you go. And as this system gets a little bit closer, well, a chance for rain is going to be on the increase starting tomorrow. Here's kind of a three-dimensional perspective. You can see that moisture that's being drawn up from the Gulf of Mexico. There's the low in the trailing front. It's weakening, it's falling apart, but tomorrow it'll be holding together enough to make our weather somewhat unsettled. Let's look at the models over the next 24 to 48 hours. 7 a.m. tomorrow, basically dry, but a few of these showers north of Venice starting to show up, and they may come on shore. Then as we get to the afternoon, some scattered showers developing over the interior, a few more in the Gulf. They'll gradually move toward the other coast as we get to the later afternoon. Here we are at 6 o'clock. Most of that rain should be east of I-75, but tomorrow have that umbrella handy. You may see a shower in the morning and then maybe another one in the afternoon. Now, we're getting a little bit drier by 4 o'clock here on Friday. Not as much cloud cover as we get into the weekend, though, and this is the scenario that actually is going to play out very nicely for us. A cutoff area of low pressure is going to develop. It's not going to move through southwest Florida. It's going to pass to the north of us, but it's going to bring us a good chance for rain over the weekend and maybe even some strong to severe thunderstorms, which obviously we don't want to see. But this is the best chance for rain that we've had for months. Southwesterly winds for the boaters at 10 knots, seas around 2 feet. Scattered showers tomorrow with the chance for rain about 40%. Chance for rain goes down a little bit. There'll be mainly afternoon showers on Friday. Friday a little bit drier than Thursday, but over the weekend, right now, it's officially a 50% chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, evening on Saturday, and then throughout the day on Sunday. We might be bumping that chance for rain up a little bit more. We'll talk more about the weekend and have more of your Storm Patrol pictures at 6:45.
A whole park just for sex offenders? The controversial idea that's happening in one Florida city.
Hey, if you need a job, Four in Your Corner wants to help out the hottest openings in Southwest Florida coming up. We're also continuing to follow breaking news in Bonita Springs. Brush fires continuing to grow as crews battle the flames. We're working to get the latest on the progress. We'll have that for you when we come back.
It's Wednesday, so here's your set of hot jobs for this week. First on our list, a customer.
The temperatures are heating up in Southwest Florida, but good news, so is the job market. Lisa Spooner is letting you in on some of the newest openings you can apply for right now because it's Workers Wanted Wednesday.
It's Wednesday, so here's your set of hot jobs for this week. First on our list, a customer service and sales associate. You'll be providing customer service, including sales at a department store. You'll also offer customer assistance and merchandise replenishment. They prefer experience, but they are willing to train. Another opening is for an assistant store manager. You'll be responsible for shift management, preparing cash deposits, recruitment, and inventory. You must have 6 months experience. Here's a job for an AutoCAD drafter. You'll prepare and modify drawings per specs and customer requirements. The person who gets this job will also prepare and maintain catalog drawings and a digital library for a website. Pay depends on experience. Next up, a diesel mechanic. You'll repair and maintain trucks. You will also test drive them before and after repairs. 6 months diesel experience is a must. And finally this week, a procurement research assistant. The job duties include researching invoices, documenting progress, and expediting resolution. You must be proficient with Microsoft Office and have a year's experience. And those are this week's hot jobs. Be sure to check them out again at fox4now.com under the Workers Wanted Wednesday tab. Lisa Spooner, Fox 4, in your corner.
Dogs in jail? Some pups in Charlotte County are going behind bars, but it's not hard time they're serving. Plus, thousands of your tax dollars are being used for an environmental project in Lee County. But at least one man says they're being wasted. Find out why. We also continue to follow breaking news in Bonita Springs. Brush fire growing right now as crews battle the flames, about 50 acres. We're working to get the very latest progress for you. Next.
Seven, 8, 9, 10. It jumped the road.
Hey, Nicole, guess who it is again?
Hi, how are you?
We're doing fine.
Hi.
It's Mike and Emily again. Thanks for doing this.
Yep, no problem.
Anything new happening out there? Anything we need to ask you?
Actually, the fire has just jumped the road.
Oh, okay.
So it's on the south side now of the road here, and we are amping up security on our trucks rather over next to the forest barn because it's impinging on that structure.
Okay. Are they drawing a line with bulldozers?
Right, yep. Division of Forestry has 2 dozers out here.
I learned that yesterday at the house fire.
Yeah.
Draw the line with the bullet.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
I kind of figured that out.
Are the roads closed down, Nicole?
Yep, the roads are closed. I'm not sure how back here on Terry. It looks like by the YMCA, so about by Kent Street, and then at the intersection of Bonita Grand and Bonita Beach Road.
Gotcha.
30. We're about 30 away, and then we will say goodbye at the end of this hit. So thank you again. Okay.
Sure.
We continue to follow breaking news out of Lee County tonight. A fire breaking out in Bonita Springs a little earlier this evening. This is right near East Terry Street and Bonita Grand Drive, less than a mile from I-75.
Yeah, we do have some new developments. So we do have Nicole Hornberger on the phone right now. She's with Bonita Springs Fire and Rescue.
Nicole, can you give us a little bit of update? I know that the smoke was a big concern near I-75 here. What's the latest in terms, is this growing?
We have still determined that it's approximately 50 acres, and it's not necessarily growing, but it is starting to impinge on some structures. We have a horse farm or a horse camp that's in this area here, and it is getting very close. It actually jumped the road, so it's impinging on that structure there, and we're amping up our fire trucks and our brush trucks in that area to make sure that they can really position themselves between the fire and that structure. We do have, I'm told, 15 horses there, and the homeowners or the horse trainers are sheltering in place and trying to wait out this fire.
Now, Nicole, tell us what road it jumped and what's closed, and are there any other homes there as well?
The road that it jumped is actually, it's a dirt road out here in East Bonita. It's right at the end of Terry Street, and it's jumped over onto the other side towards this horse camp. And the road is being closed right now at the corner of Bonita Beach Road and Bonita Grand, and on West Terry Street and Kent Street, which is right by the YMCA.
All right, Nicole Hornberger, with Bonita Fire and Rescue, thank you so much for the information, and we will be continuing to follow this throughout the rest of the newscast, and of course tonight at 10. In the meantime, you can get the very latest on fox4now.com.
Let's go to Storm Patrol's Jim Sion to talk more about the weather out there. I guess we're talking about possibly some windy conditions with that fire jumping the road.
Yeah, the winds are at about 10 to 15 miles per hour, so it wouldn't be an extremely windy afternoon, but still, a 10 to 15 mile per hour wind is pretty significant if you're fighting a fire. Good news is this is an onshore wind thanks to a cool front that's up in North Florida, so the winds are going to continue to be onshore, southwesterly throughout the evening and actually throughout the day tomorrow. And these winds obviously going to start to die down once we get past sunset. Should be closer to about 5 to 10 miles per hour after about 8:30 or so. Drought index obviously still very, very high, but the good news is we have some rain in the forecast. There you see an area of low pressure that's bringing rain to the panhandle. Southwest Florida right now, well, missing out on the rain, but if you look in the Gulf of Mexico, at least we're picking up on a couple of showers. As that system gets a little bit closer to us, we're going to start to see a few more showers hold together, and actually by tomorrow morning, we could see the first of the showers. And I say the first of the showers because the rain chance is definitely going up as we look at the extended forecast. We'll have a good look at your weekend, which may be a little bit on the wet side. That's coming up.
Jim, thank you. Well, Lee County is overhauling a strip of land in North Fort Myers, and that has some neighbors pretty angry.
That's right. As 4 in Your Corner's Gabrielle Saran explains, the project is actually part of a land conservation program. But is this for the best? That's the question tonight. Gabrielle?
Emily, this North Fort Myers resident has seen his neighborhood evolve and wants to improve it, but he's sick of the county's overhaul of a 70-acre swath of land in North Fort Myers.
I did not know they were going to scrape it down to the bare bones and decide a pond's in the wrong location, and that paths are needed where wildlife used to exist.
This vacant land off Hart Road in Fort Myers is part of Lee County's Conservation 2020 program.
I'm floored. I thought it was to preserve and prevent development, and yet this is a miniature winter park pedestrian park.
Suncoast Neighborhood Task Force co-chair James Gillespie says the county ruined this 77-acre rustic preserve. He says by turning it into what now looks like a barren wasteland with a block of pavement.
We need to rapidly cease this program. The damage has already been done here.
For 16 years, Commissioner Ray Judah has been supporting the 2020 initiative.
Really what this does is protect our quality of life.
Judah says the county could have restored the land by replanting native vegetation, but there was a more pressing problem.
They took a disturbed site. There was an old pasture land, and are creating a filtration marsh to be able to filter and clean stormwater runoff before it goes back into Powell Creek and then into the Caloosahatchee.
Gillespie, too, wants to keep our water supply clean. He just can't justify its transformation.
I did not know that it was going to become this.
County officials say the project is expected to be completed by the end of the summer. They say residents will likely be pleased with the outcome. Gabrielle Saran, Fox 4, in your corner.
All right, thank you, Gabrielle. Remember, if you have any issue, 4 in Your Corner wants to help you out. Send us an email with your concerns to news@fox4now.com or call us 239-206-FOX4. All new at 6, authorities say the man wanted in a Fort Myers homicide has been caught in the Tampa area. Hillsborough County deputies arresting 29-year-old Jerome Parrish on second-degree murder charges. Now, this is an update to a story that we first brought you late last month. Parrish is actually accused in the shooting death of 35-year-old Timothy Barnes. Police found Barnes dead in an apartment on Central Avenue on March 31st. Parrish is awaiting extradition back to Fort Myers.
Earlier this week, Fox 4 News asked your views on bringing the death penalty against the two teenagers charged in the murders of a Lee County mother and son. It's a possibility that was raised by an attorney we talked to about the case. Well, tonight the state's attorney office is pointing out that the harshest penalty that either Clayton Combs or Justin Worth can receive if convicted is life in prison, because both are under the age of 18. Now, back in 2004, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled the death penalty cannot be used on anyone under the age of 18. Both suspects are due back in court next month.
Sex offenders sleeping on sidewalks of a South Florida neighborhood. Now, one commissioner's solution to the problem is drawing backfire. The city has been receiving complaints about a group gathering nightly near a vacant lot owned by the city of Miami. Well, because of Miami-Dade's strict laws for sex offenders, the encampment has become one of the few places they could go with at least a dozen sex offenders using it as their registered address. A commissioner has now created a park in the vacant lot, allowing those who have been sleeping there to stay, but that is not easing many people's concerns.
Really not the best way to handle a situation. I mean, rather than addressing it, I mean, you're creating, there's a loop. I guess there's a loophole around it.
A letter has been sent to the governor and the State Department of Corrections demanding they stop sending sex offenders to this park.
Well, this story is grabbing national headlines and also catching your attention. A kindergartner arrested and handcuffed for throwing a tantrum at school. As 4 in Your Corner's Lisa Spooner reports, many of you are now pitching a fit.
Authorities in Milledgeville, Georgia say 6-year-old Celicia Johnson began throwing furniture in the classroom and tearing items off the walls. She also reportedly knocked over a shelf that injured the principal. That's not to mention biting the doorknob and jumping on a paper shredder. When officers couldn't control her and they weren't able to get a hold of Celicia's parents, that's when she was put in handcuffs and taken to the police station.
The officer noted all the damage, placed the students in handcuffs for the students' safety as well as others.
But were handcuffs necessary?
She may have misbehaved, but I don't think she actually misbehaved to the point that she should have been handcuffed and taken downtown to the police department.
Southwest Florida's talking about the story, and we're getting mixed reaction. Susan posting on our Facebook page, a 6-year-old? Seriously? What's next? A 2-year-old for biting?
I believe that child deserved having her hands cuffed like that. She's becoming violent and no restraint. She doesn't know when to stop.
David saying, children throw fits. It's part of being a child. And Lisa commenting, I am thinking we need to take a look at why this child tantrumed and address that. Lisa Spooner, Fox 4, in your corner.
Folks in Charlotte County taking part in a special run for the Special Olympics. Deputies and citizens putting on their sneakers for the annual Special Olympics Torch Run. Participants making the trek from the Punta Gorda Public Store to the store in Port Charlotte as a way to promote the Special Olympics.
It makes them feel very loved and wanted and needed, and they just like to show off their medals and say, hey, look at me, I did a great job, I can do whatever anyone else can do, and I'm important, and they just want to say thank you.
During the event, organizers also took donations that will help pay for the costs that it is going to take for the Olympians to participate.
A top consumer group is putting your toilet paper to the test after testing 25 different types of toilet papers for strength, softness, and tearing ease. Consumer Reports has come out with a list of the top brands. Now, the best for your booty? White Cloud. Consumer Reports also found several companies are actually decreasing the number of sheets in their rolls. The report also shows that going with those environmentally friendly rolls may cost you in quality.
What we found is sadly that most of the green products, you were sort of giving something up. You were either giving up strength or softness, or in many instances both.
Americans use nearly 8 million tons of toilet tissue every year.
Nothing worse than cheap toilet paper, that's for sure. How would you like to not have to change your light bulbs for the next 2 decades? A new LED light bulb from Philips is boasted as having a lifetime of 30,000 hours or 20 years. But it's going to cost you more than the average bulb, of course. It's got a $50 price tag. Now, if you do the math, this new bulb will cost you about $1.20 a year to run. That's more than 20% less than compact fluorescents. You know those squiggly bulbs that you can buy now? You can pick one up at stores this Sunday. The launch actually coincides with Earth Day. Very cool. Get ready to rock. The Legend of Rock concert set to go down this weekend in Cape Coral. Well-known 80s bands are showcased, including Quiet Riot, Great White, and Skid Row. The event will also feature the group Push, 10,000 Views, and other local bands. This is all happening at the German American Social Club in the Cape. It's Saturday. The gates open at 2 p.m.
Last time there was about 5,500 people out there. We had people coming in from all over the country. I mean, Texas, Boston, they were buying tickets left and right. It's a great way to show off Cape Coral.
Tickets are $15 at the door. The bands begin to take the stage at 3 p.m. on Saturday, once again at the German American Social Club. Looks like fun.
Virtual firefighting, the incredible new technology that's helping fire crews battle blazes in a whole new way.
Some Southwest Florida canines are providing more than just companionship for jail inmates. How they're helping provide lessons that will help them get a job once their time is up. That's next.
We're looking live at the Gulf of Mexico, courtesy of our camera at the Pink Shell Beach Resort and Spa. Clouds increasing a little bit, and those clouds are soon going to contain some rain. I'll tell you when you can expect the first of the showers coming up.
Corner updating you on breaking news out of Lee County tonight. A 50-acre brush fire burning in Bonita Springs near East Terry Street and Bonita Grand Drive. Now we have new pictures we're showing you now into our newsroom. These just came in about a half an hour ago. Now this fire is less than a mile from I-75. We're told there have been some voluntary evacuations in the area. No homes are being threatened directly at this time, but there is a horse barn. We're learning several horses inside that is being threatened. Crews on scene right now trying to get this fire under control. We're going to continue to follow this. We'll keep you updated on Fox 4 News at 10 tonight. In the meantime, you can get the very latest on fox4now.com.
Now, your Storm Patrol weather forecast with Jim Zion.
I mentioned this earlier. If you're worried about some of that smoke from the brush fire in Bonita being pushed toward the more populated areas, just the opposite is happening. We have an onshore wind in place, so that's a fire that's east of I-75. It should move the smoke further away from I-75 and Route 41 through the evening. Here's a weather picture that came into Storm Patrol at fox4now.com. Sam Wells enjoying a beautiful mid-morning, taking that picture and sending it in. And it should be a great sunset for all of our Storm Patrol members because the clouds are on the increase a little bit. The clouds right now mainly mid to high level clouds, but they're going to be getting thicker overnight tonight. And by tomorrow morning, if you live north of the Caloosahatchee, we may actually have a shower to talk about. Here's Storm Patrol Viper Not showing any rain in southwest Florida, but now we're picking up on a few showers out here in the Gulf of Mexico. That same low pressure system and very weak front to the north of us continuing to dissipate, continuing to move away, but this system is still going to hold together well enough tomorrow for us to have an onshore wind flow, and tomorrow morning we could have a couple of these showers in the Gulf of Mexico coming ashore. Then as we get to the late morning and afternoon, those showers will likely increase a little bit. As we zoom in and get a closer look at the Tampa area, you can see how these showers have a tendency to weaken as they get closer to some of the drier air that's over the land right now. But you go about 150, 200 miles to the north, you can see how those showers are coming onshore. So that system gradually getting a little bit closer to us. It'll impact our weather throughout the day tomorrow. Partly cloudy at 11 o'clock tonight, winds from the south to southwest at about 5 miles per hour. Then at 7 a.m., we may have a shower north. I think it's mainly north of Port Charlotte. Say Venice, Sarasota, Englewood, you could possibly have a shower with that onshore wind continuing throughout the day tomorrow. Then late morning, early afternoon, a few more scattered showers, and by 5 o'clock, yes, we'll have scattered showers in place, but most of them are going to be east of I-75 at that point, moving toward the other coast, thanks to that onshore wind at about 10 to 14 miles per hour. Low pressure in the trailing front. We'll call it a cool front. It's moving so slowly we could actually more call it a stationary front if we wanted to, but you can see how it's directing that moisture closer to southwest Florida, and the clouds will increase a bit for us overnight tonight. Let's look at the computer models over the next 48 hours. We'll start right here at about 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Things looking good over southwest Florida, but look what's going on in the Gulf of Mexico. Some of those showers holding together, possibly coming ashore from Venice northward. Showers increasing as we get to the late morning and afternoon. A few more showers out here in the Gulf. Just basically a very unsettled day tomorrow with a couple of showers moving through. By late in the afternoon, most of those showers moving toward the other coast. Drier day on Friday, but then over the weekend, this area of low pressure, cut off from the jet stream, is going to pass close to southwest Florida, making it an unsettled weekend. Scattered showers and thunderstorms Saturday afternoon through the evening into Sunday. I know you don't want a wet weekend, but it's much needed rain, and many of us could pick up over an inch of rain when we added up Saturday and Sunday. Your exclusive fishing forecast says that spring is bringing a great variety of fish. Right now you go out and throw on the live shrimp, you're going to catch snook, reds, trout, mackerel, flounder, sharks. And the lighter winds that we're seeing are going to be very welcome, but the rain over the weekend probably not going to be welcome. Scattered showers tomorrow, have the umbrella handy. A couple in the morning, getting more numerous by the late morning and afternoon. Isolated showers on Friday, but the main rain chance coming for us over the weekend. Chance for rain going up to about 50% Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening into Sunday. And then Monday and Tuesday, we start to clear off and get just a touch cooler. That is your Storm Patrol forecast.
All right, the Charlotte County Jail has 3 new inmates, but these little guys aren't going to be wearing those orange jumpsuits.
That's right. They may slobber and bark just a little more than your average inmate in those orange jumpsuits, but they're really being given a second chance at life. It's a great story. Tonight, we are telling you something good.
Funny, they're all 3 the same color.
Yeah, they are. True, these 3 pups are all the same color, but that's not the only thing they have in common.
That's Oscar's new dad.
Oscar, Toby, and Shyla are being given a second chance at life.
They get obedience trained, they get brought back to good physical health.
There you go. All 3 dogs, abandoned, neglected, and left at the Suncoast Humane Society, have been chosen to take part in the Cell Dog program.
Each dog is assigned to 2 inmates because they work as a team. In case one of the inmates gets out early, or then the other inmate is trained to carry the torch, if you will.
Charlotte County Sheriff Bill Cameron says the program does wonders for the inmates.
It has a calming effect in the facility. It gives the inmates something very productive to be giving back to society while they're here.
But if you ask the inmates, it's all about the animal.
It's all about the dogs. It's really not about the inmates. It's about the dogs. Give dogs a second chance, another home, and keep them from being put to sleep.
The 6 inmates were trained on how to train their dogs. For 2 months, they'll care for their new pet around the clock until they're adopted out. And anyone involved will tell you it's not just the dogs that are being given a second chance.
I'm noticing a lot. I've learned a lot already. I'm proud of it. I just hope we can find better homes for them.
For more information on this program, or maybe to adopt one of those dogs, you can call the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office at 941-639-2101.
Some students in Cape Coral getting honored for doing the right thing. Cape Coral Police awarding several students for their contributions to the community. Among the students recognized was 2nd grader Mackenzie Lowry. Her brother has a disease that makes him prone to seizures, so she helped raise more than $9,000 to buy a dog that will alert the family if her brother does have a seizure.
What would you like to say to the people who donated?
Thank you for how much you donated, and
That's really nice.
It's hard when he's going through a tough patch and there's nothing that we can necessarily do to help him. So I think that it's been good for her to have something that she's been able to actually help him.
There you go. All the Do the Right Thing winners got a plaque and a trophy during a presentation at City Hall.
New technology could soon give firefighters bionic vision and make life-threatening situations a lot less dangerous. A new high-tech virtual mask is in development that gives first responders data about their surroundings as they're battling a fire. Firefighters will be able to see oxygen levels, temperatures, and exit paths.
New technology, a total difference maker?
Absolutely. To be able to see and then to be able to also not only see where I'm at, but to communicate with my team members, that's a big relief.
The technology is in the testing stages right now, but it could be in use by firefighters within the next couple of years. Very cool. Well, you see us on TV every single day, and you think you know us pretty well, but now we're giving you a chance to get to know us even better. Over the next few weeks, we're going to be answering your questions through Facebook. Right after the 6 o'clock newscast, you can log on to our Facebook page for an Ask the Anchors session with Patrick and I. You can ask us anything you ever wanted to know live on Facebook. We'll be responding. Patrick will be back next week. You'll get a chance to chat with him as well. But this starts tonight with me at 7 o'clock right after this show. So get your questions ready and make sure you log on to our Facebook page. We'll be live until 8 p.m.
That is very cool.
Very exciting.
Hey, coming up, a high schooler's love for his mother almost kept him from being able to graduate. Find out why next.
But first, see how these mice could be the key to curing baldness. Next.
Wanted to take a lot of pressure off of her because that's the most important thing when they're
Japanese scientists may be a step closer to finding a remedy for baldness. Researchers at the Tokyo University of Science say that they succeeded in growing hair on bald mice. Now, they did it by extracting two types of cells from hair follicles. These follicles not only grew hair and whiskers on the bald mice, they also sustained hair cycles comparable to those on the mice that the cells were taken from. Yeah, the hairy mice. Scientists are hoping to apply this hair regeneration technique to humans sometime within the next 10 years. A high school senior almost missing his chance to walk at his commencement ceremony because he chose to care for his cancer-stricken mother rather than go to school. The Ohio teenager says he actually had the grades to graduate, but he had 16 unexcused absences, which is more than the school allows. He says they were all excused. Now, his excuse, he's been caring for his mom who has cancer.
Wanted to take a lot of pressure off of her because that's the most important thing when you have cancer and stuff. Stress-free lifestyle. I mean, that's how you heal the best, so that's what I was trying to do.
Well, after a Facebook campaign started by his fellow students, school officials decided to let the teenager walk across the stage. And the best part is his mom was there watching proudly. All right, we're going to have a final look at your weather coming up next. Stay with us.
Corner Corner updating you on breaking news in Lee County. A 50-acre brush fire this evening burning in Bonita Springs right near East Terry Street and Bonita Grand Drive. We are told there are road closures on East Terry Street between Kent Road and Bonita Grand Drive. Now, fire crews are warning you to stay out of the area if you can. Very thick, heavy smoke making driving conditions dangerous over there. We're going to be following the progress as crews continue to work this scene. We'll have the latest on Fox 4 News at 10. In the meantime, check out the latest on fox4news.com.
And the winds this evening should be pushing most of that smoke inland away from the populated areas. Scattered showers in your forecast tomorrow, maybe even a couple in the morning, but circle the weekend. It unsettled and somewhat rainy. Finally, we need the rain.
And don't forget to get on Facebook if you've got your questions ready. I'm getting ready to answer them.
I'm going to write them out
right here.
And you too, no fake Facebook names.
Just Jim.
All right, I'm ready. No, just Jim and Emily. Oh, and Mike.
Devon, that was like a tease, an awful tease. Why would you do that? I thought we were buddies.
Hurry up, Emily's missing her questions.
I have got some serious stalkers.
Hurry up,
waiting.
Emily's got missing her questions. We got
to make this happen right now, folks.
15 seconds.